The moment you've been waiting for is here. The 411 Knowledge and Entertainment Show is coming to you live from the New Era store here in Atlanta, Georgia. And you don't want to miss our special guest, Atlanta Falcons strong safety, my man, Willie Moore. Stay tuned.
Do you consider yourself a role model?
That's important to me because this is who I am. You know what I mean? I'm like, I love who I am. I embrace it. I enjoy it. I love to perform. And I want people to see that.
Hey, the 411 Knowledge and Entertainment Show is in effect. It is your girl, Les, and man, listen, if you got questions, we got the answers, all right? Knowledge is power, and this is the place to be. Now, of course, you know we always bring your favorite celebrities, whether they hit the stage or on the film screen, and today we're taking it to the turf. Atlanta Falcons own my man, Willie Moore's in the house. What's up? Wake him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, here you are, 12 years old, you know, running around Missouri. I'm sure you're playing all kinds of sports. Why football?
It was one of those sports that I enjoyed. I love the game, and I just stuck with it.
Now, when did you know that football was going to be a career for you?
Maybe, you know, just high school, you know, you're around a bunch of kids, and you know, you always get that kid that kind of stands out a little bit. The coach comes and be like, you got something here, you know, if you keep on working hard, you can do something. And ever since coach told me that, I just, you know, try to push it to the next level.
Now, did the NFL seem like it was a far stretch for you? Like, I mean, getting to college and, you know, maybe even on scholarship is like a big deal, but here we go. The NFL is like the dream of all dreams.
Right. Correct. It was all about steps. You know, when I was in junior high, it was steps that I knew I had to take, and college was one. I think that was the toughest transition that I had. In NFL, I said I wanted to get there. I just took every step I could to get there.
Now here you are on the outside looking in, right? Everybody thinks that football, and once you get in the league, is all fancy, and fly, and the money, and the girls, and the cars. So of course, obviously, you get in there, and I'm sure there's a reality check. So what about the business side, maybe, that you did not know, and you kind of were like, uh-oh, it's really about to go down, and I gotta, you know, educate myself.
The good thing about the NFL, we have a lot of workshops to educate you for, like, you know, situations that come up. But I think for the most part, it's just being humble. When you humble, you know, you turn down a lot of things that you know not good, you know.
Right. So as your position as a strong safety, what do you have to do to make sure that you stand out on the field and that any newcomers coming up aren't, you know, because everybody's always after your job and stuff like that. So you got to protect your neck, so to speak.
Right.
So what kind of steps do you take to, you know, make sure you got that handled?
It's a business, you know. You gotta appreciate that side of it. You know, if you don't not performing, somebody else gonna perform. So that's motivation itself. So with me, I just try to stay on top of my game.
What has been your proudest moment on the field, and the one mistake or the thing that you regret that's happened on the field?
I say my first interception in the NFL was my first ultimate moment. Like, man, I made it, you know. And I think my first NFL fine. I regret that.
Why was the fine? What happened?
Late hit. $15,000 fine for a late hit. Yeah, that's what they do. But for the most part, I think that made me play within the rules a little bit more, you know?
Without a doubt. Okay, so there's always that fear of injury going on. So how do you try and stay healthy? And it's hard. You've got, you know, 20, 30 guys coming at you all at one time. How do you know? I
often say if you running fast, the guy that's running fast, playing hard is the last one to get hurt. You out there trying not to get injured, you get injured. That's what I think.
There's so many times that we see entertainers and athletes kind of segue off into other fields. Now, for those of you who don't know, Willie Moore, a.k.a. Willie Mo, and his group of athletes, right? Now, is that also always a dream of yours to get on stage and, you know, shut it down?
Oh, music always been a dream of mine. I just love, you know, that's one way you can give back as far as where you've been and where you come from. And I just love what music do as far as, that aspect. And football is an awesome way too. But I just got a good taste for music, and that's one thing I want to do when I'm done.
How are the fans responding to it? Do they? Because sometimes they can be like, he's not focused. He
Right.
on TV. He wants to be a rapper. You need to worry about what's on the field. How are they responding?
I keep that separate. I try to. That's my ultimate goal right now, is focus on football. When I get comfortable in that, I can just, try to level off and do some other things.
So when football is over, when it's said and done, and you decide to hang your cleats up, what's the plan?
I think, do a little music producing, and I'll definitely go do some high school coaching and give back.
Social media guy? Are you on Twitter, Facebook, and all of that?
I'm not a Twitter guy. I don't want nobody following me, but no, I'm on Facebook. I'm a Facebook guy. I like to, touch bases with everybody from back home. That's one way you can do that.
Do you think that the popularity of the fans kind of, helps with the coaches in regards to, well, maybe we need to keep him? I mean, I know you got to show and prove on the field, but being a franchise player, that big name that the people want to see, do you think that kind of can sway their decisions sometimes?
Most definitely, because if, you're a fan favorite and a guy in the community and people like you, and you're a great football player, of course, they want to keep you around.
Who are some of the people you look up to, athlete or non-athlete?
I have a lot of role models as far as, guys that I come up with, Jay-Z for one, just where he come from and where he's at right now in the industry. I don't know him personally, but what he's done, guys like that.
What is one of the first things that you bought when you got your big check?
What big check? No, I'm joking.
We know better.
No, I think, what'd I go get? I got my mom a car.
Okay.
Yeah, the first thing I done. Then I bought myself one, of course. So.
There you go. What about the politics of the league that maybe they don't know about, that we don't know about, that you kind of have to deal with, that, your agents call you up and they're like, Willie, listen, it's going down like this. You got some serious decisions to make. Kind of, go into that.
The business side, like I said, people don't know about it because, one day if you see a lot of players that are on team to team, and you wonder how that happened, it's because of numerous reasons, he don't get along with the coach. He can be on another team the next day. It's all business, From that aspect, I try not to focus on that. I believe in just playing football and let the people, take care of what they need to take care of as far as contract-wise. I never focus on none of that. So.
Yeah. Did you care who drafted you? Were you just happy to be drafted, period, or did you have that dream team in your heart somewhere?
Of course, every kid gonna have his favorite football team coming up, but for the most part, I don't know. I just had that feeling on draft day that Atlanta, because they showed so much interest, and I was just excited, man. When my name came up, I was just excited,
Right.
One of the best days of my life.
If you could surround yourself with your top 5 players, past or present, who would they be?
Ronnie Lott, old safety from way back when. I had to go with Brian Dawkins, Deion Sanders, prime time. I definitely go with Mike Vick, and let's see who else. Right now, I had to go with Tom Brady.
There you go. You like that? He's like, oh yeah. Do you think if you didn't have sports in your life, even as a child, that you would be a different person?
Most definitely. Oh yeah.
How did it save you? What was the positive factors?
Leisure time. It's amazing what kids do nowadays with a lot of leisure time. They that's how they get involved with a lot of different stuff. But with the opportunity, that's why I love sports so much. It keep you busy. It teaches you life lessons. Being around people, just teamwork. All the things that's in sport, it goes to life.
Now I asked you about some of your favorite players. What are some of the coaches you would love to work under?
Of course, Mike Smith, my coach now, one of the best coaches. He's just a player's dream coach. He's just funny.
Right.
I had to go with Bill Belichick from how he wins. Who we got some Patriot fans out there or something?
Anyone?
Right.
Now, if you wanted somebody to do the story of your life, what actor would you choose? And don't say Denzel.
Idris, what's his name? Idris Elba. Idris Elba. Yeah. Yeah.
Why do people say y'all kind of look alike?
Watch yourself. Yeah.
Hey, you.
Nah.
We know what's up.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's gonna happen with this rap career? Are we gonna, go on tour? You working on an album? What
Most
can we
definitely.
expect?
I'm doing some, I'm spending a lot of time in the studio in the off season, and I got some. It's pretty nice.
Any collabs we need to know about?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get my man Gucci Mane on there, and I'm a fan of him. Outside the box, I like the way he rap.
Okay, and if you wanted to get an R&B singer on there, who would you choose?
I have to go with my man Trey Songz, probably.
Both of them taking their shirts off. All right, well, we're gonna take a commercial break. This is the 411 Knowledge and Entertainment. Willie Mo is in the house. Your girl Leslie. Yes, we are still rolling the 411 Knowledge and Entertainment with your girl Les, and of course we got the finest from the NFL Atlanta Falcons, my man Willie Moore.
Right.
But of course we're gonna let the audience do what they do best, and of course ask them some questions. So Ayo, who you got over there with you?
Okay, we with the 411. We're here in the audience. We got a couple questions, man. Give me your name.
My name's Trayvon.
This is Trayvon. All right, tell me the question.
Who inspired you to play football?
My granny, man, she told me I had a talent that I was blessed with, and I continued to use it and kept strolling.
Now we know that most players, whether it's football, basketball, whatever, have their favorite numbers. 25 is your number. Why is that the number for you?
Unfortunately, I lost a teammate in college, a close friend of mine. When we came in as freshmen, he was number 25, and we was in practice, a summer voluntary workout, and he passed out and collapsed in practice. It was a tough loss, and one thing I promised, my coach and his father and his mom was that as long as I'm playing football, I'm gonna represent for him by wearing number 25, and here I am.
People don't realize how real it is if you guys can get injured and that death happens, in a blink of an eye. So how do you prepare yourself every time you go into a game to, be as safe as possible?
For the most part, it's about hydration and how you treat your body. So I think his death opened a lot of eyes as far as athletes. Any given second you can be, it's fun until something like that happen. Unfortunately, you hate to lose somebody like that. That's somebody's child, at the same time. But he definitely opened a lot of eyes up, and a lot of guys taking care of their body, as far as no steroids and all that stuff. You don't, that's a whole nother situation. You got to just be blessed for playing it.
Yeah. Now, even in your own family, there are people who have a lot of supporters, and there are also doubters. Like, you
Correct.
ain't going nowhere. How supportive was, your mom, your dad? I know you said your grandmother was your ace. Your brothers and sisters, or not supportive at times?
I think I always kept myself around the right crowd, the right friends. I'm still with the same friends that, from junior high, from Pee Wee football. Still remember the same guys. Of course, I came up, same story as a lot of athletes, kind of rough, rough neighborhood, rough situations, rough circumstances, but I made it out. That's the good part about it. And my grandma, she did an excellent job keeping me in church, me and my pastor like this, So I always kept myself around a lot of positive people. So that's the good thing about it.
What are some of the things that, honestly, I know men aren't supposed to cry, but you have those moments, where something really affects your soul, whether it's about the sport or personal. So when was the last time that something really affected you that brought you to tears?
I'll say my granny, when she just passed recently, so I think for the most part, but I could say that was tears of joy though, so it wasn't, I'm a very emotional guy. Every game I'm crying, every Sunday, because it's a feeling when you strap those pads up, how far you come, I can remember days of Pee Wee football, and it happened so fast, so I be so emotional every Sunday when we strap up.
For your future children, what lessons will you teach them in regards to focus and concentration and staying out of the street?
I'm one of those guys that I'll let you learn, but I won't let you drown. You know what I mean? I'll let you swim, I won't let you drown. I'll let my kids, I'll tell them about it, but kids these days, they have to learn,
Right.
And I'll be one of those supportive fathers to definitely be there for my kids. I don't know about my girls yet. I'm yet to figure out how to raise a girl, but for the most part, I think I'll be a great dad.
Okay, so before we get out of here, we got a couple more things just to hit up real quick. One is, what do you want people to say when you hang up your cleats, about Willie Moore? What kind of a player and what kind of a man?
I think the player outside of the field is more important than on the field because it's a lot of ballers out there. Everybody can play. I think I want to leave a legend off the field. Like, he was a great athlete, but he gave back, and he's a great person. And for the most part, he worked hard on and off the field.
There you go. All right, I'm gonna hit you with the 60-second hot seat questions.
Bring it.
So I'm gonna give you one word or a term, and I just want you to kind of tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Y'all ready? Yeah. Okay. Fear.
Possums.
Okay. Song.
Tupac, keep your head up.
Sex. President Obama.
Great leader.
Trade.
Trade?
Not the plan, huh?
No.
Thank
God?
and love.
You.
And
No.
Thank everybody for coming to hang out with us. And again, of course, we love you.
Yeah.
We wish you the best. We want you to stay safe and keep killing them out there.
Yes, ma'am.
On the field. Willie Moore, everybody.